as you would say on Twitter, because I follow you on Twitter, my body is ready. My body is ready.
Mine as well. Would you like to introduce our first player here, Mr. Promise?
Sure, Mr. Nathanius. We have our blue Protoss in the bottom right, of course, representing Prime. It is Creator Prime.
Right, and his opponent in the top left position, playing as the red Zerg. You know, started out down 3-0. He's brought it back 3-2. Can he bring us to an ace match? It is Quantic Gaming's HyuN.
I wanted to do the Street Fighter voices, man, but I forgot.
If we get an ace, if we get an ace.
Well, yeah, if we get into... Okay, yeah, that's the deal. If we get into an ace, guys, we're going to be doing our Street Fighter voices. That was part of the GSTL or the GSL thing a few seasons ago. But yeah, PvZ again. It's been the focus of this best of 7 series. One of the best matchups, in my opinion, that's kind of evolved. Just because in Wings of Liberty, what did Zerg players do? They just made Infestors, they made Spine Crawlers, they got to Broodlords and Corruptors around like what, the 13, 14 minute mark, and then went for the win.
Then it was
but now it's like,
can you get the Vortex or not?
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like vice versa, man. Now it's like the Protoss is like, what's up, Zerg? We have our Void Rays. That's all we have. We don't need Broodlords, Infestors, Corruptors, and Spines. We just have Void Rays. And we'll see if Creator is going to be playing that heavy air style. And it's same standard builds, man. 14 pool, Creator Prime. I'm going to predict a Nexus first. It's actually going to be a Forge, so
it's
not
so
a big
risky, deal. I feel, to go for the Nexus first on this map. You have such a huge ramp. It's kind of like it's kind of like Belcher Vestige in that respect. I think this may be the largest ramp. Even the GSL version of this map, or it might have been the Kespa one, had a supply depot to help wall off. So it requires like the maximum number of buildings. You need to have like a perfectly positioned pylon at the other side. And I have to say, going Nexus first, because imagine if HyuN did like an 8 pool, having a wall up for that in time is so hard. You can't just do like a Neoplanet SC walled off with 2 pylons and a Forge. But definitely not going to be that easy on this map. Although I don't think HyuN's going to do anything crazy. He's just making 2 Zerglings. And the Nexus is coming in now. So what do you think Creator does for like an end game plan? Is this... I feel like a 2-base play would be the best way to throw right now for Creator. I think he should try to focus a bit more on the macro side. But what are your thoughts on this, Promise?
I agree with you on that point. He's been 1 game away from winning this best of 7, and something that he's known for and something that he's kind of stylistically put in the metagame in PvZ has been the 3-base double robotics facility 4 to 6 Colossus push, which is ridiculously hard to defend as a Zerg player. Now, of course, if you're metagaming that, you can go into Vipers, you can be ready with Corruptors and Roach Hydra, but the 3rd base, you know, I want Creator to actually take a 3rd base in this series. This is a very accessible 3rd base. All you have to do is kill the rocks, kill the other rocks slam on top of each other, it falls down, and you're basically walled in for whenever you want to decide to push out. So that's going to be my hope in this game. Whether it's a Colossus push, whether it's another, you know, a full air transition, 3-4 base Protoss against Zerg, I'd love to be seeing that from Creator. But HyuN is just following up normally, going for the 3rd base. All he has to focus on right now is just his Harvester production is not grab. Actually, he did grab a gas, so probably going to be for metabolic boost just to have a little bit of map control. But I'm really hoping Creator kind of pushes it towards the later stages of this game.
Yeah, me too. I completely agree with you on that one. And yeah, we did see HyuN go for a gas play like this earlier, so he just kind of went for the Zergling speed, and he is on 3 bases, so I don't think 3-base like lair rushes are terribly effective. I think they just leave you so vulnerable to a lot of timings. So the Zergling speed is coming out now for HyuN. Overlord does scout out pretty much everything he needs to see in Creator's base, but not the tech building, although that hasn't been thrown up yet. He has enough gas. Yeah, he's going to go for a Stargate. So I like this.
Why do you like it, Nathanius? Tell me.
Stargates are cute.
Void Rays are adorable.
Void Rays are just the most cuddly flying animals in this game.
They're such a bad unit, man. Blizzard needs to fix the Void Ray. They need to actually buff it. It's so bad.
They need to put the Void Ray in timeout, man. You've been slaying too many nerds.
They need to have the Void Ray like have its own recall ability and its own time warp, and then this game would be balanced. That's just my opinion. Blizzard, if you guys are hiring out there, me and Nathanius, we're gonna go ahead and balance the game for you. Just follow us on Twitter and talk to us if that ever happens.
Yeah, amen. Hydra. I feel we're gonna see Hydralisks out of HyuN though, and it is gonna be the Void Ray. He just doesn't like opening with Phoenix, and I mean, in Wings of Liberty, if you opened Void Ray like this against a Zerg, it was because you wanted to do like a really, really fast gateway timing to try to deny a third base. But a lot of Zerg players got better at dealing with that, and I think it's especially easier to hold if you scout it as a Zerg, because you don't need an evolution chamber to build spore crawlers anymore. But he's getting up a macro hatchery now, and he's taking those 4 additional gas geysers. So it looks like he wants to head into possibly that Hydralisk play again. It looks like it's 1 or 2 more gas geysers than before, so it could be Mutalisks. On this map, not a terrible decision. Against Creator, possibly, I don't know. I'm just not so sure.
Hydralisks. That's what it's going to be.
It's a good call.
Well, I actually looked at the production tab. I kind of cheated, man.
Oh no! I meant from HyuN.
oh, okay. Well, thanks, Athenius. I
mean,
Hydralisk Den is down, so it is going to be Ling Hydra again. Kind of what he's been doing, what he's been sticking to. I guess these are kind of his roots in this matchup. And Creator is, whoa! Look at this third base, so quick by Creator, and he's not actually taking the easily more accessible third. This one's a little bit more open. Maybe he might create a little bit of a wall off here with the gateways and play a little bit defensive here with the sentries, which would be the best idea in my opinion here for Creator. But HyuN has an overlord at the third, and this is going to make him think he's on 2 base, but HyuN, being a top tier player, sends a Zergling, knows his opponent's on 3 base. This Ling Hydra play can actually work wonders if he can hit a timing before this army gets ridiculously big.
Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking. Gets this third Nexus up. The way that this map works, siege tanks are really good on it because of this. From this little position right outside where the Stargate is, he's actually going to run the Zerglings in. The force field should be able to help mitigate a lot of these. He's not going to lose any of his sentries. He force fields himself into like this really, really tight ball. But he will defend this for now. He has opened up with those plasma shields again, so it looks like he wants to go for the airplay. But I think he's going to set up a quick wall here, and the Void Rays can cover the entrance to both the natural and the main base so easily because they can just go up and down that cliff, no problem, because they're flying units, that this is just going to allow him to get the easiest 4th base ever, because all he needs to do is not lose this third to any kind of timing. But HyuN, he's not even looking at that. He's getting a hive at 10 minutes. We have the +1 Roach Hydra attack about to complete. We have a 4th base about to complete for HyuN. He's now getting his Hydralisk range. So this is an interesting play. I just want HyuN to, you know, it's so difficult to deal with the army once it gets there. Even if you secede, you know, to the Zerg player and let them get the 4th base early by getting your 3rd early, that army for the Protoss is still so cost effective. He's already got a ton of Void Rays up. He's moved back to that 3 Stargate play like we saw in the earlier matches. So, I mean, this was so hard for HyuN to deal with before. Do you think that trying to be as greedy as Creator is the way to do it?
Well, Creator at this point is actually, he has a big smile on his face because he hasn't had any Lings or Hydras pressure him at all. This is going to give him the opportunity to just focus on Void Rays, focus on upgrades, maybe even do a quicker transition into Storm. Just as I say that, Twilight Council in the production tab for Creator. But I like what HyuN is doing. He's not actually committing to this. He's taking a 4th. You mentioned he went straight Hive. Look at the production tab. There is the Vipers, which are basically like the Mortal Kombat. I forgot the guy. He's like, get over here.
Scorpion,
like,
I think.
Yeah, I think his name, like Sub-Zero or Scorpion. I think they both have like the same moves,
well,
whatever.
I mean,
they're like brothers.
They're reskinned, really.
Yeah.
They're really like reskinned fighters. It's just like, this guy's blue, this guy's gold. They both like tear your face off.
Same
anyway.
exact. Yeah, exactly. But Vipers, I love this choice. But how many do you make? That's a lot of Void Rays, and you're not gonna have infinite amount of energy to abduct these Void Rays. And once you have Storm into the equation, it's gonna make it much harder. But it looks like HyuN is actually gearing up for a timing, and I think this is a good way to deal with it. Rush Vipers, Ling Hydra, before Storm and before a crazy amount of Void Rays, but Creator already has 13. I mean, I think HyuN wants to possibly try to win the game once these Vipers are actually here on the map.
Yeah, and he actually had a couple of evolution chambers over here. He's just like chewing on them like they're burgers or something, filling up the energy on those Vipers. And yeah, he's maxed out. He's push in here. I think he should wait for the Vipers though. He wants to. I think one of the best ways to use them is you just pull Void Rays individually into the Hydralisks. You just take them out one by one, soften the army up, put a great fungal growth, hits a lot of the Void Rays. good time warps, though, abducting a couple of these Void Rays into the Hydra Ball. But it looks like HyuN might just have too much here. He's overpowering a lot of these Void Rays, killing off them quite quickly. He does have the speed upgrade, so he's going to be able to catch them very fast as well. One Archon brought in, that will not be able to do much. And he's just going to shove this back. There's the GG!
What?